Hi, everybody. Laura here from Hedgehog Homestead. I was just coming up to have some fun, increase my watch hours and all that fun stuff. Um, would like some friends to come up if they'd like to. Um, Let me just invite some people and hello, what you up to? How are you doing today? Hudson, how are you doing? I am going to put the link in the chat, and if I know you, you are more than welcome to come up. If we've seen each other around, hold on a second, I did it wrong. Um, how's everybody doing today? Are you guys enjoying the day after the 4th? I was in the garden this morning cleaning up a bunch of like plastic things in the yard that came over in the yard from other people's properties. We've got quite a bigger property, or a bigger property, a big um, row of housing here, and so there was a lot of fireworks going off last night. Hi, Andale. How are you? Good to see you. Um, Earlier in Andale's life, she was talking about hope, and I really liked her message. Just a really great message of hope. Um, and in another live, somebody was talking about, what's going on in this world and the peace that's happening in this world, or the peace, the enemy's hold on this world, and just the hope that we have in this world because God's in control. And so that's just one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about, how God is in control and brings us so much peace. And, we can get totally overwhelmed by the news and all of that stuff. But He is in control, and I love to see Him in control. And so we just keep on praying and sometimes turn off the news. And what are you guys doing to find that peace and that serenity away from the craziness? Is it your family? Do you spend more time with your family? Um, Try to stay away from people that are negative all the time. All of that stuff. If anybody has any ideas, I would love to hear them. The link is in the chat, so Anne or Hudson or what's she up to now? If you want to come up, Adenir, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Anybody can come up here. That's in the chat right now. If you're not going to show your face, then unless I know you, I wouldn't let you up. But I appreciate the people that come up and like to have good discussion and lift each other up, and that's what we're here for. Um, and that's what I think God's created us for, to build a community, like they were saying in the other chat, to build a community where we're lifting up each other, we're supporting each other. Um, we're building a community where we can trade with people to survive this stuff that's going on, and not to put other people down, but to really lift each other up. And Dale, I really like the direction that you've taken your channel with that. You've always talked about God and shared your testimony. Um, I've been in the same place. I've I'm a survivor of breast cancer, and so I've been in a dark place, surviving that, and the only hope that I had was Christ, too. That's awesome, Hudson. Yeah, God does. He has our backs. He has our backs, and we can turn to Him at any time. And that is an awesome thing that we have, and everybody has that. Um, Whether they're saved or not, God will not toss you away if you turn to Him. And uh, that's the awesome thing about a Savior. And you know, we could be living in the midst of sin in our life, and He will not turn us or deny us because we are His. Okay, Anne. um, so it's just really interesting to me that God is moving, and there's some churches that have fallen, and there's some churches that are thriving during this time, and I think that's interesting as well. Hi, Rebecca. How you doing? The link is in the chat. I don't know if you guys can see it. If anybody wants to come up, I'll put it in there again. Here we go. Yeah, and it's just interesting that how many believers are on the YouTube, and even though we're we still find a way to get our message out, even though we're hindered in speaking truth. Um, but the greatest truth is that Christ is in control and He's on His throne, and nothing that's going on, He hasn't. He hasn't. I am in Central Tennessee, Clarksville, right now. Um, yeah. Oh, so you're right outside of Nashville. Okay. That's cool, Hudson. Are you going to any of the meetups in the area? Okay. Mother-in-law's off to get her hair done. Um, yeah, what side of Nashville are you on? Are you on the Clarksville side, or because we're technically kind of a suburb of Nashville. Yes, we should meet up. We should meet up for sure. That would be a lot of fun, Hudson. I don't know the area as much as some other people do, so I would love to know where to meet up to. I was going to meet somebody at the farmers market the other day, and we're making that arrangement to meet at the farmers market. Hello, Art. Tasha, how are you doing? I don't know where that is exactly. So is that on the east side of Nashville or the west side of Nashville, Hudson? Hey, drunken chef and barbecue. Hello, Andrew. How are you doing, beautiful?
Oh, hush, it's okay, Brownie. Talking to my friends. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to turn the comments on because I'm so. Okay, I'm reverbing. I'm going to go out.
Okay. Chattanooga. Okay. Yeah, we should meet up sometime. Um, there's so many people in Nashville, or in Nashville in Tennessee, homesteaders. We should all meet up. Homesteaders and gardeners. I'm going to the Tennessee or the Kentucky meetup, the picnic. I don't know if you're going to that one, but it would be fun to meet you there. Um, I'm meeting Shannon at our farmers market here in Clarksville. Um, but yeah, it'd be fun to meet up and have lunch or coffee or something good like that. Um, make good friends out here because we all need to get together and we all need to, um, you know, learn garden tips from each other and just learn cooking from the drunken chef over here and and all of that stuff. And um, you know, I'm just learning how to grow in Tennessee. I don't know that much about growing in Tennessee, and so it's so much hotter than Oregon.
Let's try this again.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay, I still hear an echo.
You must have it open on another page.
I heard one when it was just you too, though, sweetie.
Yeah.
I have everything else is off.
Yeah, it seems like a delay in the
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
yeah. Oh, the technical challenge of YouTube. Um, so, hey, local, up for, huh, that's interesting. I've never seen you. Welcome in, welcome in. Um, yeah, so, it would be nice to meet with other people. I really want to start meeting with other channels while we're having our house built and just, um, we we're new to the area. I'd like to know what's cool in this area to see. I love hiking, um, so I want to see some new hiking paths. Oh, it's okay, Andale. Totally understand. Technology is, as my husband and I like to say, when things are going wrong, and it's fritzing. We're like technology. And I am um, not the smart technology or technological person. I don't even know how to say that in the family, and so yeah. So I'm at like 912, and I'm trying to get new subscribers because I want to get to that 100. How you doing, Evelyn? Good to see you. And so I'm asking people to share me out and stuff like that so we can get our thousand because we have that watch hours. We have the watch hours, but we're really struggling to get up to 1,000. It's like I get like a few people and then it's gone, and it's just really really hard. And when you have the watch hours, it's like it. If I didn't have the watch hours, I think it would be easier because that would be like, okay, it just gives me time to get my watch hours in. So um, yeah. I don't want to lose any watch hours from a big video or something like that because I had a few big videos that hit, and um, so yeah, it is a journey. It is a journey. I remember when you got your 1,000, Anne, and that was exciting. I love it when people get their 1,000 and just watching that and just finding joy in their excitement and all of that. It's just so fun to watch. But yeah, my husband and I were talking about how we have been just hungry for this to end, hungry for um, more relationship with the Lord, hungry for just peace. And we have been finding that lately and just building some really good relationships where that peace is. And good people like Ann Dale, and finding other channels where people are just living in that peace and trying to just be in the world, but not of the world. And, you know, it's sad what's going on. It's sad, it's hard, but there's some good things that are happening. So finding those little bits of pleasure in what we do and in all the things that are around us, and just finding that. So um, we like that as well. So um, so what are you guys doing? I know that Hudson said Jesus has her back. But what do you guys do? I mean, like some people have their hobbies, their garden, their church, their um, just different things that they do, knitting, uh, crocheting, just certain things that they do where they can always just go and be okay. This is my happy place, and so I think it's important that we spend time in our happy place and with our family, and not. Um, there's so many families that have been torn apart by what's going on too, and it breaks my heart, including mine. My kids, I've got one child that won't talk to me because I don't believe the same that he does, um, and it's sad. I won't. I won't deny certain things that I believe are true, and then that I stand firm in, and this person has not been mean to me, not been any of that, but he just won't talk to me, um, because he believes I'm denying the truth, and I believe I'm holding fast to the truth. So, I mean, we all have that in our lives, and I think that people go through that, and and so. And there we go. We just got to hold on to what we've implanted in our children, and hold on to the truth that God doesn't turn his back on his children, and that he goes after that one sheep. And so I just keep on praying for that. Yes, exactly. We are, and and it doesn't feel like you can trust everybody anymore, um, family or not. There was a thing going around YouTube for a while that they were turning in homesteaders and people that were prepping. Um, I don't know why that's such a big deal. That's old. And it's like, well, we all do it on YouTube, so why we're not hiding it? So what's the big deal there? Hi, Little Ridge Farms. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love I love that age. 9 years old. Yeah, yeah. I have my child. He lives in California, and he won't talk to me. And he's 28. And my other child that lives in California, she talks to me on the regular, but there's certain things that she will not talk to me about, and it's just really sad. it's really sad, and I just keep on praying for them, and I keep on hoping for them. Um, I had glimpses of hope when they started to talk about the the ugliness that was going on, and there seems to be some kind of awakening that's slowly happening with some of them. Um, my daughter, every once in a while, says something that brings me hope, and it's like, "Oh, you are seeing a little bit of the light here," and but it's horrible to see what's going on in some states compared to other states, and hence the reason why we moved to Tennessee from Oregon. Um, I have family there, and I love the family there, and some of them want to move out of Oregon too, but some of them feel like they need to hold fast to be the light in that area, um, because they're living around darkness all the time, and and it's sad because I was a foster parent in Oregon, and I worked with special needs and handicapped kids. And the sad thing about that is that the state was uh, involved in so many things. You didn't feel like you had any freedom to live as a Christian, even though you could not talk to the kids about your religion at all. Jesus is the only way. That's right. That's right. He's our only hope, and he'll go after those lambs, especially if we instilled in them the truth about the Lord, and he'll go after them. We just got to keep on praying. Um, yeah, so it's just a little bit crazy how that happens. Exactly. I was saying earlier, Emily, that um, hi, treasured home. That when we moved away from Oregon, as we were driving into Idaho, we could feel this weight, this literally like an oppression that was hanging over us, leave us, and it was just amazing. And then when you would drive into another state, you'd feel it come back, And then when we came into Tennessee, I haven't felt that weight at all here. Um, and people are walking around with hope, but people know the Lord here. It's not. Yes, we're in the Bible Belt, and I'm happy for it, and I'm just so happy for it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I think it's very interesting that my kids grew up in the church, um, but their dad was an alcoholic, and it was hard. Not the man that I'm with now, my husband, um, but he was a severe alcoholic, and but tried to play church at the same time, and um, it was a relationship that was abusive. It was abusive to my children, and I had to get out. And I don't believe that God tells us to stay in abusive relationships. And so I did get out, and I took my kids away. But what the stories that my kids told my me when they felt safe um, was horrific. And sometimes I wonder if that's why they don't see God the way that I see him, you know? When you see as much horrible things happening in the world, I also think that um, we're in such a place in our world that we're looking for easy answers all the time. And it's just not easy. It's not easy to fix something. You can't fix relationships overnight. You can't fix bad things overnight. Or things that you've seen, abuses. You can't fix them overnight. They take time, and we live in this world where we'll just take a pill for it, and everything will be okay. And the only place where we can get healed instantly is in the Lord. But sometimes I think he lets us, um yep, it's a microwave world. He lets us heal slowly, because when we heal slowly, we are more aware of what brought us to that place to start with. And I think sometimes when we heal slowly, and we can recognize things in other people, in ministry and helping other people, when you get to know people and you can speak into their lives because you recognize something that you've been through. And sometimes I think God allows us to have that so that we can minister to other people and they can minister to us and we can lift each other up. And it's such a great thing about how God works, because he lifts us up and we lift up other people. Um, and it's awesome. Results in 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to be in a place, um, what the word of Lord, hope deferred makes the heart sick. So it's hard to go through things slowly. It's hard to be denied when you're praying over and over again. Um, and it makes your heart sick. Um, but God does not defer hope. And so we have to keep on seeking his face for our hope. Life is in God's timing, not our timing, for sure. Hello, Spring Meadow Farms and Garden. How are you? Good to see you in here. What's for lunch? Is it lunchtime already? It's 11 o'clock here. Probably a tomato sandwich again, because I love tomato sandwiches fresh out of the garden. I don't know about you guys. Just picked out a couple good ones today. Um, so how is everybody's garden growing? If you're growing a garden, um, so we did a very small garden because I wanted to see how I could grow things here in Tennessee compared to Oregon. I've learned here in Tennessee some things die out because of the heat so quickly, even though I'm watering constantly. Um, and I have a harder time spending time in my garden. I need to get up earlier. In Oregon, you could sleep in because it didn't get so hot. There was maybe like a few days where it was 100. Here, it's like seems like all the time. So um, it's like, oh, it's going to be 100 degrees again today. So sorry, I was getting a text. Um, yeah, my garden seems to be growing really slowly, but it's just starting to pick up now. Yeah, mine is that little bit of rain, well, that little bit of rain, that almost 2.5 days of rain that we had here is really it's really picking up. Hi, Makeup Mom. How are you doing? Good to see you in here. She's got a great channel. I like your last little soda challenges, or not challenges, just tasting the different sodas. I'm not a soda person, but I always wonder how these crazy sodas taste like, and she's got some of those on her channel. New Mexico and Texas. Yeah. Is it a large zone difference? Here, I was in 8B in Oregon, and here I'm in 7A, I believe. Um, I'm in Clarksville, so and I believe that my homestead will be 7B, so hopefully it's not too much different. Um, I think the amendments are the same, so you don't have to learn those over again. But just dealing with the heat and what's going to come up when, and um, I need to get one of those new guides for this area because I had one in Oregon and I didn't get one for this one, for this zone yet. So I need to look that up for next year. I need to develop new beds in the clay soil in Tennessee on our homestead. Right now, in this area that we're living right now, I'm just doing raised beds, little raised container, basically. I'm doing container gardening, and it's still growing well and doing well, but it's not anything like growing in the ground, or and I don't have the chickens, so things are going a little on the slower side. Yeah, we've had a lot of 100-degree weather in June as well, and so it's really kind of slowed down in a big dry period. This the last 3 days or so, we finally got some rain, and it rained good. We really, really needed it here. I'm close to the Mennonite community, the Mennonite and the Amish community here, um, where we live in Clarksville. Yeah, um, we literally are a block away from the border, and we can just literally walk over to the Mennonite farms. We drive just because the farms are quite large and it takes a bit, and we always have stuff to carry back. So they've had some early tomatoes because some of them have some nice big greenhouses. So they had some early tomatoes. So I was getting tomatoes from them before mine came up, which was really nice. And there's also a Mennonite dairy here. We get all our milk from, and we get our eggs from. So I need to find some place where I can get some manure that's not tainted with radon, or stuff like that. I don't want to be a roots and refuge situation where I get all this beautiful compost, and it's got. I rather grow a slower garden and come into it slower and build it up than. Oh, you're in 8A. Okay. We'll see you later, Andale. Thank you for coming in. God bless you. Right. The weather is much different in New Mexico compared to. Is it much drier there in Mexico compared to Texas? Because isn't Texas more humid? Um, yeah. So yeah, it's a big difference here. There's a longer season, and I know I can grow some things here, which I'm very excited. My loofah is doing really well here. Hopefully, I'll get some. In Oregon, the loofah would just get started, and September would hit, and it would bottom out and start. I wouldn't get any, so hopefully I can get some here because I just have this need that I to really grow loofah. I don't know what that's all about, but it just is. I just have to grow some loofah. So yeah, we have that in our area too. We're more like exit. We're exit 11 or no, not something like or somewhere we're one of the smaller. Yeah. And they're literally I just love it because um if I don't want to go to the grocery store, I just go to the dairy here and they have um just some basic things that I need. You can even get meat there and chicken and stuff like that. So we have done that in the past. I like to get their milk and their cheese. I don't eat the cheese, but my husband does, and they have deli meat there and really good Mennonite ice cream, and it's just yummy stuff. I love Rural King. We have a Rural King in Clarksville. Um, we see them in the stores here. The Amish, they go grocery shopping in the stores right over here. I was at Kroger the other day, and they were at Kroger, um, and uh, some of the stores here have tie-ups for them right in this area, um, or they have their son wait outside, with the horses. It's really cool. I mean, we've seen them come down the main streets here. We're so close. Um, and the horses are always so spirited. Hi, James. How you doing? Good to see you in here. Um, the horses are always so spirited, and it's just really cool to see. We see them harvest their fields. There's one farm that grows hay fields, and you get to see how they plant it and how they harvest it with their horsepower. And um, I actually have a couple shorts and videos of when we went to the Mennonite farms and stuff like that here. I just really enjoy it. My mom wants to come down and see the Mennonite farms and um, the Amish farms here. And it's neat to hear their accents and just what they're all about. Okay, so you get more rain there, which is good. Oh, cool. You live at the base of the Rocky Mountains. So it's probably a little cooler there too. Hi, Howie. How you doing? Yes, I am an earthling, Howie. Thank you for reminding me, buddy. Talk about gardening. Howie could give us all kinds of advice on gardening. So yeah, we're just having a good time getting to know the area and getting to know the people here, and just they're so much nicer here in Tennessee, Hudson. I love the people here. Um, uh, in Oregon, it used to be that way. People used to be really nice in Oregon, and a lot of people shoot movies there, and all the stars are like, "Oh, it's so nice here," because it's nicer than California. But You come here and everybody, you drive by somebody and everybody's got to wave to you. And it, even though Clarksville is a big community, people are pretty darn nice here. On our street, they're a little more reserved, but this area right here, because we're renting, is filled with a lot of military folks. Um, and so they're from all over. But the people that are from Clarksville and born and raised here, very, very nice people. Um, so I can't say, you know, anything bad about. We love it here. Things are, there's of course things that are different that you get used to. One of the things that I'm getting used to, I think, is the heat. I don't like the real humid days, but I mean, who does? Who does? But I'm getting used to the heat because I have to spend time outside. So it is. It must be a southern thing. In in Oregon, I would always say hi to everybody because that's who I was. Um, but the, they say the place where our property is, they say, my somebody was telling me that used to live in that area. They're like, everybody's gonna be in your business. They're gonna want to know what you're doing. Just be prepared for that because a lot of people have a hard time with that. And I'm like, oh, I think I'll be okay. But it that does take, because when you live in an area where nobody cares, a lot of people pull into their driveway and go straight into their house. They don't even bother saying hi. But that's not the area that I lived in Oregon. We lived really close to Portland, but we lived on the outside. And people in our cul-de-sac would always say hi to each other, get to know each other. And so it was really nice. We lived in a suburb of Portland. But when we lived in Portland, um, you didn't we actually lived in downtown Portland and nobody talked to anybody unless they were trying to sell you something. And it was just really sad. Um, and there, so many great things to do. And I think um, that's why I don't think people meet organically anymore. You know, if somebody wants to meet you organically, um, they're like, oh, wait, no, I need a screen in between us. You know, I can't trust that I can meet somebody up front, and in person anymore. And it's especially in Oregon, it's really sad. But here it's so much different that everybody, like if you're lost in the grocery store or if you can't find something, people are more than willing to help you. And they don't act like, you've asked them for their arm and leg, they don't have the time for you. And here it's totally different. So I really enjoy it. So, um, so, so you're from our treasured home. So you're from Virginia and you're living in Ohio. That's cool. Yeah, in Oregon, they would lift the mandate every once in a while. They lifted the mandate right before people had to vote in Oregon, uh, which is very interesting. And then they took it back as soon as that was over. Now, finally, I think they're taking it away because they're making everybody get the jab there. There's a high pressure to get it there. Um, Here in Tennessee, if you don't want it, they don't ask you again. They're like, okay, you don't got it, okay, you know. So Wow, you moved around. How come you moved around so much? I've lived in Canada, was born and raised in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, and then moved from Canada to Oregon, and then from Oregon to Tennessee. So, haven't moved a lot. I think in Canada, when we were younger, we moved around quite a bit. Um, but oh, you do have a friend that lives in Clarksville. How nice. We love Clarksville. It's really spread out, but now that I'm learning some things about Clarksville, I'm really liking it. At first, it was like because you don't know anybody. I liked it. I liked the people here, but it was just getting used to the difference. Oh wow, okay. Alabama. So you've gotten around too. James is in PA. Nice. This is one of the things I love about YouTube. We're talking to Howie from Canada. We're talking to um, Evelyn. She's over there from New Mexico and Ohio and PA. That's really cool. Chris Wyatt is from PA as well. He comes on my channel sometimes. Um, hey, Guardian Prepper, how you doing? Good to see you in here. There's the link if anybody wants to come up. Oh, please do, Hudson. I would love to meet up with you. I think that would be great. We could probably meet somewhere in between, you know. So we do have a email connected to our channel if you look below sometime, one of our videos. So. And Guardian Prepper is from South Africa. So got South Africa in the house. How you doing, buddy? Talk about a nice guy. He is a nice guy. We love him. Keeps us up on what's going on. So does Chris Wyatt in South Africa, and it's nice to know what's going on in other countries. Because we like to get in our own little bubble here in the United States and think it's all about us when there's a whole big world out there. So he's a lot of good stuff on his channel. Fixed up his motorcycle and drives his motorcycle around and just does some very good photography and some great stuff, and some prepping stuff too, obviously because of the name. And he's got some real world experience and where you need those tools, and so it's really neat to get it from that perspective. So we just love him and appreciate him, as we do everybody else in this chat. So I'll see you later, Hudson. So we are waiting on getting our grading done for our house. We have our blueprints, and hopefully we can get that soon and get our house going so you guys can bring you more of that content. we were going to do a tiny home, and then decided to build a bigger home because my mother-in-law that just left to get her hair done um, uh, is moving in with us. She decided, I guess, that we were not so bad to live with after all, and decided to move with us. And because my brother-in-law and his wife are also going to move in really close. Hi, MT Homestead, Mr. MT. Good to see you in here. Um, since they are moving, they're actually buying some of our land from us, and that is going to help us pay for our house. Um, and we have a loan on the land, but we don't want to get a loan for the house because of um, it's difficult to get a loan for a house on 160 acres. Um, Hello, good to see you.
Hey! Oh, I would love to do a meetup with all kinds of people.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
That would be fun.
that would be so much fun.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. I have an
Yeah.
MRI to do next week, so
Oh,
it'll
okay.
really see how messed up my back is.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. I've got a herniated disc in my between L4 and 5, and then I have arthritis all in that area and then up into my neck. So I
hmm
understand.
Oh yeah, and
It's
I was just like the doctor just a couple weeks ago when I went, he asked me what's going on, and I told him, and I'm just like, I'm telling you. I don't care if I'm sitting, if I'm standing, if I'm laying. From my waist down on the pelvic area,
mhm,
it goes numb. And I'm
mhm.
like, the only way to explain it is if you sit on a toilet seat too long and you go to get up
Yeah,
and everything's, there's no pins and needles anymore. It's
right,
just numb. And I'm just like, I want to know what's going on and what's causing it.
right, right.
And what he could see on the CT scan that they read at the hospital and the x rays he took, he was like this MRI needed to be done yesterday. That's how quick he wanted it done.
Oh, okay.
And so I went on a Wednesday. He wanted it done on a Thursday. I'm like, I can't,
Yeah,
I've got, like my son and daughter-in-law work. We have to schedule around it. So next Tuesday at 9 a.m. So everybody just be praying that
yeah,
they find out exactly what's going on.
yeah, yeah. We will. We will. That's hard stuff. I was getting numbness from that area into my front. It would come around, and
Mm-hmm.
it felt like I was getting shingles almost, and it would be I would get numbness and then shooting pain, and so I had to be put on a nerve medicine for mine, and I which I hate taking because it makes you groggy
Oh, I
and so
know.
I only take that kind of stuff. I have enough. I stopped getting it because I have enough. I only take it when I absolutely need to. But losing weight has been helping me too with that. So um, I, but I gained weight because I was going through breast cancer and just the stress of all that. And
Oh
then
my goodness.
also, when my back went bad, I couldn't run anymore. I used to be a runner. So they're like, you need to stop running.
Oh yeah.
This
Oh
your
my
your
goodness.
upper, your upper spine cannot handle that. Um, so
Well, I'm glad you survived breast cancer. That's amazing.
yeah, thank you. It wasn't a bad. They caught it early, but it runs in my family, and so my mother's had it. She had it a little worse than I did. And my cousin, she had to have a mastectomy. So I'm so thankful that mine was caught so early and I didn't have to go through what they had to go through. So I feel
Exactly.
really, really fortunate and very blessed. So um,
Thank you, Evelyn. Yeah, I know. It's because it's like it starts in your back and it
mhm.
comes around through your pelvic area and everything. And I'm sorry, people are talking medical stuff, but and then it shoots down your legs.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, then I was telling them my left leg, my left hip, just randomly, I can go get up and my hip just goes out, and I have to grab onto something. Or and then it starts, and it's right here in the front now in the groin area. If I go to get up,
Hmm.
like today, it don't do it every day, but
Yeah.
it'll catch. And it's like the best way to, it's like a broken door hinge.
Hmm.
You gotta open that door and it catches, and you gotta, work it out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I could go to get up, and I'm like stuck right in the middle between sitting up and sitting down. And you can't move, and it's like, what the world is going on?
Yeah. Thank you, Garden. Yeah, I had to have knee surgery, and it was the same thing. It was like the catch was broken, and
Yeah.
yeah, and so it was basically my muscle because I had an injury that tightened the muscle around the kneecap, that it would pull
Yeah.
the kneecap out of place, and so they had to literally put holes in the muscles and make them like Swiss cheese, so that they would stretch again, and then I could bend my leg. Because I would get down on the floor to get something and I couldn't get up. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, at the time I was like 35, and I'm like, this is way too young to have it. But it was from an injury when I was a teenager. It just over time just got really bad, and I had to have surgery on it.
Oh
So
yeah, and I'm 53, so the stupid stuff we used to do
yeah, yeah.
growing up. My mom and dad built on to their house instead of moving to a bigger house. We built on.
Hi,
So
Christy.
our yards were all fenced in. So our backyard was a fence between us and the next and the neighbor behind us. It was like
Mhm.
3 feet high. When we had this long metal rod, it was about that big around. And I was like, oh my goodness, it was, I don't know how long it was, but when you build on houses, they have that so they can measure like the height of the walls and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
So my best friend, her brother, and I decided we were going to play trapeze artist on that fence.
yeah,
So we took the rod to the balance thing like you do in a circus.
yeah.
She got all the way down. She got halfway down. I got all the way down. Turn around, got halfway back, and I fall and I
Oh
twist
my
my
goodness.
ankle.
My goodness.
So it's like, they go, yes, is this from an injury? Or I'm like, well, which one? From childhood to slip and falls from adulthood, or
Yeah,
slip and fall on the ice and car accidents? Take your choice, because
yeah.
apparently I've had this for a long time, and the doctor just didn't know in 2009 how to say how long I had it.
Right.
Like, that's great. That's just wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. My sister, when she was a kid, she had to get, we were just here or just in Oregon from Canada. And she, so we were living on a ranch in Oregon that my uncle had. And she jumped over a barbed wire fence that was all nasty, and they had cows, so you had cows rubbing up against that, and just
Yeah.
so she had to get a tetanus shot, and but boy, it tore, just ripped her leg down trying to
Oh
jump
my
over this
goodness.
fence, and she still has the scar to this day in that area. It still bugs her, you know. But it's like it's amazing when you do something when you're so young and influenced by older children to try to do something.
I
Yeah,
know. Because, riding our bikes and jumping off of them and
yeah,
falling off of them. And it's like, I
yeah.
don't know, I was
You
told
just
I
did
had,
it, and
yeah,
nobody
so,
complained about anything.
exactly.
Yep.
So, like, in 2009, when I had a slip and fall in Missouri, and that's when I really uh, became disabled.
Mm,
And, but the disability doctor, didn't even, after all the notes and everything he saw it, he just like, I don't even need to see you. He goes, you'll never work again.
oh, wow.
And I have it from the top of my spine and all the way down to the sacrum. And I was like, oh, okay. I knew I had some of it, but they
Mhm.
said, you'll never work again. As far as like a physical job or sitting down job, and I tried because I can't sit down for so long. I
Right,
can't sit for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, wait for a break to come and
right.
go do that. That's like a hopping, jumping bean. I could
Right.
sit like 30 to 40 minutes. Then I got to get up and move. And then, but go to stand up, it's only like maybe 10 minutes at a time. And I got to
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah. My
So,
husband's the opposite. He has to, he can't stand for a long time. So he
yeah.
can't do any job where he's standing for a long time or sitting for a long time. He's got a bad back too. So, yep, it's hard when you have a bad back and you can't. I it's my upper back, so I don't have that much problem with sitting. I think most people that have sitting and standing problems, it's more the lower back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because when I went to the hospital, because I was like, this has gone on for too long. I just got to find out what's going on. The ER physician assistant, whatever they call, he said SL5 has fused itself to S1 all by
Wow.
itself. He goes, we don't know how that happened. And he goes, but between the L3, 4, and 5, he goes, it's supposed to be like this somewhere in your spine. He goes, yours is like this.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that because I could feel it moving inside.
yeah.
I could feel all of it moving around. I was like, that's not good.
Oh, wow, Emily, that's crazy. I when I go like this, I can hear it's like marbles running together. I can
Yeah.
hear it in my head. Yeah, it's fun. I used to go, "What is that all about?" And the doctor's like, "Oh, well, you have a little arthritis in your neck." I'm like, "Okay, that's why it sounds like marbles in my head." When I'm like,
My
"Mm."
goodness. I thought she broke her arm at 4 years when she was 4.
Yeah, I broke my arm when I was
Goodness.
11 years old, and it was in a U shape, and it
Oh,
was
wow.
what they call a compound fracture.
Mm-hmm.
Both of the bones were broken and coming through the skin, and from doing a round off. Because I guess it's common doing a round off because the twisting that you do when you're trying to jump in the air
Right.
in gymnastics, and so I on my way to the hospital, my mom's bringing me, and she said, "They're going to have to straighten your arm," and I'm like, "No, no, that seemed just too painful." So I'm like, "I can just do one-handed, round offs for now." I'm thinking my arm's going to be in this U shape forever. It's like, no, they can't fix it. The bones are stuck outside. It's like, oh, so
Oh, yeah, definitely. I never broke anything, but like I said, I've twisted my ankle plenty of times and everything. And then I have a video about this, and I really don't say it a lot because I I used to get teased about it. But here it goes. Everybody will hear it. Back in 2007, it
I think
was
most boys
January 1st, 2007. I was I was a bail bondsman, and I did investigations and everything. I was like with somebody who
oh,
owed me
wow.
some money. And yes, I had a gun. I was using my grandfather's 22 revolver. So this is 2007. That gun was already 70 years old.
Wow.
So it wasn't used for anything but for show, just,
Mhm.
let people know I was armed. And,
Right, "Don't mess with me, I'm armed."
right. And I didn't. I really didn't. I was really nice to, no. I even had Bloods and Crips who fought against each other. So if
Mhm.
anybody messes with you, come get us.
Hmm.
So, and I even have a lot of the Mexicans because I would bail them out when nobody else would.
Hmm.
So the same thing. If anybody messes with you, come get us. It's like, okay. So we went Wawa. Have anybody on the East Coast knows what a Wawa is? Them and Sheets have a good going back and forth about which um, one is the best.
Hmm.
So we stopped to go get something to drink, and I had it on the inside holster, and I pulled my pants down, and I was pulling my pants up, and the thing falls. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I'm trying to grab it so it
Mhm.
won't hit the floor and forget it. I messed it all the way around. All I did was I knew I had to cover my head to protect myself.
Mhm.
So I covered my head like this. The gun, it it falls like this. It hits hard enough to bounces when it flips.
Mm.
So when it flips, it backfires. How that sucker backfired, I have no idea.
Mm. In the long
Because
run.
where the one that it backfired on was bent from where it hit the floor.
Mm.
So even the bullet, the back of the bullet was bent.
Mm.
It did not hit the firing pin, nothing,
Mm.
but it went through my leg,
Oh, wow.
right through my right leg. Anyway, it went from underneath my knee, right knee, out my leg, and I was like, I looked down. I was like, I knew it because it was like, ever had somebody come up and hit you behind your knee and you
Mhm.
to make you go down
Buckle,
or
yeah.
playing around like that?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like, and I was like, oh no, no, no. I looked down and there's just blood going down, and I had white tennis shoes on at the time.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I called my sons and I was like, look, the gun fell. It got me. Call 911. And the girl in the store goes, well, I've got first aid. I know what to do. I didn't say anything about being an EMT or nothing. I just knew I needed to sit down because I
Right.
was going into shock. Because all I'm thinking is, did I hit that femoral artery? And am I bleeding out? That's the only thing that went through my head. And I remember the rescue squad showing up and the police officer, and he asked me who has the gun. I said, I've got the gun secured. I handed it to him.
Yeah.
The bullet hit the ceiling and landed underneath the sink, still fully intact. Now, if anybody knows anything about bullets, there's two types. You have full metal jacket, which is the whole thing, and then you have I just forgot the name. Anyway, where you see the pin and it hits the pin. And it's like, I just changed those bullets out.
Mhm.
I had the full metal too, and I changed it to the other one. And I was just like, if they had hit that pin, they said my leg would have been blown off.
Right.
And I was like, we got to the hospital, we laughed and joking because I know everybody there. And they were like, do you know how close you came to, it missed your bone by that much, by a
Yeah.
hair. I was like, yeah, I know how much, it missed. And I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm like, well, what can you have? I said, well, I'm allergic to morphine, Vicodin, and codeine. They go, what happens? I'm like, I go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And not thinking about Percocet being a narcotic, I was like, I've had Percocet before. I'll be all right.
Oh, no.
I wasn't all right.
Oh, my goodness.
So my son I live with, he was in the room with me, and our business partner at the time had just came in and bought Burger King in because I was hungry. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, had that medicine, and it was 2 Percocets. And I was like, I don't feel good. I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna get sick. And then all of a sudden I got hot.
Oh, no.
Yeah. My son goes, Mom, you went from red as fire to white as a ghost. And he watched that monitor count down from
Mhm.
150, 30, 40, flatline. And I'm like, to this day, I still tell him I didn't die. He goes, Mom, you dead. And I was gone for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget what happened because I thought I was dreaming. And I remember hearing somebody yelling in my ear. And I'm waking up and there's 12 people around my bed. And there was somebody on my, doing chest compressions.
Mhm.
And I'm like, as I come around, they're like, she's doing good. She's doing good. We've got her back and everything. And I asked the nurse, I'm like, what happened? You
Right.
passed out. I'm like, I didn't pass out for 12 people to be around my bed and somebody doing chest compressions. She
Yeah.
goes, well, I can't explain to you what happened. I have to let the doctor do it. And my son became very protective of me. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm okay. You just got to make sure that every time I go to the doctor, they know I cannot have any of that medicine. Please don't give it to me because I don't want it to happen again. So I was just like, yeah, the accidents do happen in more than different ways, and
Yeah.
you just learn to, when you go to the doctor, you just gotta tell it because
Right.
they may know it in one state and the other state may know it. This state, they don't know nothing. So it's like telling the same story over and over again. It's like, it's kind of like, again, I gotta tell it again, but they don't know. They didn't.
Right.
That was, oh my goodness, 2007. That was 15 years ago. Wait a minute. 2007. Yeah, 15 years ago. But I was like, and my leg healed up. I mean, fine. It was just went right through the muscle. But the doctor told me if I had not had whatever I did and had that reaction, they were going to let me go home. But I had to show them that I could walk with crutches. I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. I've done that before.
Right.
And she goes, well, stay off of it a couple of days. And I was like, that was a Tuesday, the first. And then on Wednesday, I came home. By Thursday, Wednesday evening / Thursday, I took those questions and just threw them in my mom's backyard. I was like, forget this. I've got too much stuff to do. I don't walk on this leg. It's going to freeze up. And I'm like, I can't have that.
No, can't have that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think everybody has a story.
Yeah.
We can all learn from each other.
Yeah, we can. We can. Everybody does have a story, and everybody has gone through something that, is big to them. And just because, somebody may have been going through something bigger or smaller or doesn't make it any worse or,
Or less.
God gives us what we can handle, not what other people can handle.
Exactly. And it's like with, not only the bad things we go through, but the good things we go through. I was talking to my son and daughter-in-law about this the other day because everybody's talking about the prices of apartments and all going up.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about being a huge blessing because I was like, well, let me see. So I was curious. And what we're in now, we've been here for 4 years. So the price of ours hasn't changed. But if we were to try to move in here now, it costs $1,050 a month.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, those are the same prices like it was back in 2008 when there was another president in office. I can't help it. I am a Republican through and through. Yeah, always have been. And of all the years I've seen it, growing up, when the ones that are in office, the party that's in office now, prices always rise. Gas prices always go up. Yeah. There's always shortages. There's always something to make somebody panic about something.
Yeah.
And as soon as our party gets into office, everything calms down. Like,
yeah.
Well, not to make a history lesson, but come on, get with it.
Except when Reagan, the junior, was in office, gas prices were a little bit high, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In recent years, yes. Yes.
Yeah, because, you look at it when Donald Trump was in office, I'm going to say his name. Gas prices were $1.50, around $1.50 for regular gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's $5 a gallon. I'm like, people, can't you just realize what's going on? But I try not to get political because then I really get uproared and I'm just like,
yeah. We tried not to go there too much, but
It's
It's all true. It's all true. Hi, Joe.
exactly.
How are you doing in your chair, sitting there, healing from your knee?
Oh yeah, because and that's like I don't mind watching prepping and everything, and I understand that because my grandparents grew up during the Great Depression. My
Right.
mom was born during the Great Depression, and so was my dad. So every year from till I was like 13, we had a garden every year. My mom
Yeah.
and my grandmother, her mom came over, they canned every Saturday, they froze food and everything, and that's what we had during the wintertime.
Yeah.
So that's what I grew up on and ingrained with. And I'm just like, but some of them, oh, the negativity, I can't just watch anymore.
Right.
I just can't. Because I was
Oh,
like, yeah, I know things are happening and I keep up with as much as I possibly can, but it just overwhelms me. And I'm just like, something just triggers and
thank you
then I
guys.
don't do anything.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'll see your headline. I'll know what's going on, but I also know what I got to do to keep my mental state where I need to be, especially now if I have to have back surgery. Because I
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
mm. Oh. Did y'all go see fireworks last night?
Uh, from my window. I didn't need to go anywhere. Um, it was a one big or I could sit on my back deck because the neighbors were putting on a nice show. I didn't have to go anywhere. I we have a big black lab and he gets really, really scared. So um, as, soo- as soon as it got really crazy in our neighborhood, he had to come upstairs and needed to be put in his spot and his safe place. And so, and
Yeah.
he didn't want me to leave him. Every time I go to leave him, he was like, "Oh, oh, oh." I'm like, oh, buddy. My little dog's like, hey, hey, what's going on? What's going on? This is all cool. But he's like, oh, oh. So,
I have videos. I have shorts. I don't know if they're shorts or not, but I'll be posting them throughout the day.
mhm.
Hold on. I don't know what's going
Shorts are
on.
so fun to do. I like shorts too.
And not an apartment complex, but people. So like, there's 3 apartment complexes around here. So the people on
Yeah,
that far
Ginger.
end, oh my
It's always
gosh,
the
they
big
had
dogs.
these huge boxes. I mean, the big fireworks. And they just wouldn't set one off. They would set 5 off at a time. And they set like almost like 7 or 8 different sets off last night. One set caught the hill on fire over there. And we were, my son was yelling, "You got fire, you got fire." And they were like just watching it. And he goes, "Stop it out."
Hmm.
I got that on film.
Wow.
I did get that on video because I was like, and then our neighbors across from us, they came outside because they were wondering what was going on. And here, they did go get fireworks, but no, nothing like, oh my goodness. And the thing that would just get me was they wouldn't clean it up. And people in
Hi,
the
Carol.
cars
Good to see you in here.
going trying to maneuver between those boxes and everything. I was like, come on, move them out of the way after they're finished so the cars can get through.
Yeah.
I was like, we were waiting for the police to show up or the fire department. No,
Yeah.
nobody showed up, anything. So, I mean, they were pretty to look at and everything, but I was just like, to me, that was more of a disrespect thing than celebrating the 4th of July. And I'm telling, for what they set off, and that was just last night. They've been doing this every night for the last 3 nights. So at least $5,000 worth of fireworks in one night.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol. Wow, that's yeah. I mean, some of these people spend thousands of dollars on fireworks. So,
And I was just like, that's right. You gotta give. Yeah, I was reading where it says keep strong, and give God praise. I said you
Mhm.
got that right because I did have a doctor ask me one time. He goes, "How you walking?" I said, "By the grace of God." Looked at me so funny. He goes, "He
Yeah,
never heard that before."
yeah.
But yeah, definitely because when I was flatline, to me, I was dreaming. The dream, what I had was I was with an FBI agent, which this agent that was in my dream, I had already talked to him about some other things going on. And we were chasing these guys who, they were bounty hunters, but they had fake badges from, so they could say who they were from different
Mhm.
agencies.
Yeah,
And they were in the woods, and the woods was complete black. I mean,
right,
black as this, as you find. The only light was the light from a police helicopter.
right.
And in the woods, I could hear them laughing and taunting me. And I'm telling this guy, let me go in there with you. I know what they look like. I can help you find them. And
Yeah.
I'll never forget, he turns and looks me dead right in the face. He goes, no.
Oh, thank
He
you, Joe.
goes, you're needed more out there than you are in here. Turn around and go back. And I believe with all my heart that was an angel telling me, no, you need to go back. You need it out there.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
that's when I came out, and that's when I came to and everything.
Right.
And I was just like, I will never forget that as long as I live. I was like, wow, you know, when the Lord has something for you,
Right.
nothing can hold you back.
Yeah. Fishes, I don't know if you have time to come up here. If you do, I'll send you the link.
Hey, Fishes and Load, Garden State Gardener, Deborah Bruce. How you say it? Is that Adeoneer? How you say that?
I don't know. Jabba.
Adenar? Adenar?
Adenar. So,
Adenar. Okay.
Adioneer.
Adenar. There we go.
Adioneer.
Yep.
Or Adoneer. It's Adoneer, I guess. Everybody gets his name wrong, but if you say his first name first, then
Yeah.
he'll change it as you say the rest. You got it.
Adenar.
Okay. There you
Adoneer.
go.
Chris says it right. I always say it wrong.
There's some doozies on YouTube. I mean, I felt bad last night. I was in a live watching fireworks in California go off. Oh, wait a minute. That's
Yep.
me. Hold on. I didn't realize I had the sound live on my other page. Hold on.
It's okay.
There we go. I was at a larger YouTuber who's in California, and the couple was showing it off their back porch.
Hmm.
And it's Robbie and Gary Container Gardening, I think is their
Yeah.
big channel. And she was doing a live. And some of the names, because they're trying to read, like one came in and it was totally a Russian name
Right.
in the Russian lettering and everything. She's like, I'm just going to call you. Making up nicknames.
Yeah.
It was like so hard. I felt so bad.
I
for them.
appreciate you in here, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I was like, gardening this year, forget it. I was just like, if something falls on the floor, it just stays there unless I get Anastasia to pick it up, or my son and my daughter-in-law picks it up. I was just like, that happened at the doctor's office Wednesday. My lipstick fell, and I just looked at him. I said, it can just stay there. He goes, no, I'll get it for you. Just can't do it. And I was just like, the look on his face.
Is it your back or is it just?
It's my lower back. It's L3, 4, and 5, and S1.
Yeah. I'm so
And
sorry.
I could see the concerned look on his face. But I was just like, I was telling Laura, I said, I have had a doctor looked at me and like, how are you walking? I was like, by the grace of God, because that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. What, are they fully herniated or what happened?
They are herniated, but L5 has fused itself to S1.
Oh my.
By itself.
Oh no. Due to inflammation, probably from that. They'll do that.
Right.
And then
issues. Yeah.
And then they said, 4 and 5 3 not as much, but he goes, your spine's supposed to be like this big around.
Yeah.
He goes, it's like this around the
You have
nerves.
stenosis of the spine. That's very
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah.
My husband has some of that. That's really painful. Yikes.
Well,
By the grace of God, yeah, you are moving around and walking.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, it
because
is.
I was like, well, the Lord's going to use this for good for somehow or another. I don't know how, but,
Yeah.
it'll help somebody else.
Mhm.
That's, somebody asked me what's my channel about. The channel started because my granddaughter Anastasia was born with a dairy allergy.
Mm.
No regular dairy whatsoever. No animal dairy, no goat, no cow, no nothing. So I was showing people how to eat with,
Yeah.
dairy-free food and everything. And then I got a tick bite back in 2017. And in that I have alpha gal, ALPH/GAL, which means no red meat, no pork, no deer, none of the good stuff anymore. Only chicken, turkey, any kind of fat bird,
Thank you.
and fish. And I'm just like, well, why not I just do both? I'll just show everybody how to eat both ways.
Is that from the tick bite? I'm sorry. That's
Yes.
a certain thing they carry, and then it shifts our system to where we can't have. Okay, those amino
Yes,
acids.
that's from a tick bite.
Oh.
Amy Fuel, her husband has that, the alpha. I don't know if it's alpha gal, alpha gal, whatever.
Mhm.
She said, they've had to change their diet completely around. And I'm just like, man, oh my goodness. When I finally figured it out last summer, I was like, all right, gotta change all this. Stop eating all the red meat, and then my hands cleared up so much.
Mhm.
And I do have, videos that I went with my subscribers at the time. I was like, I'm gonna show y'all what this is about and what happens. And it always affected my hands.
Mhm.
Because we stopped eating pork, but we still eat, hamburger, steak,
Yeah.
and beef. And then, but we change it up.
Mhm.
I have chicken one night, something,
Yeah.
roast the next night. And I just happened to have a hamburger one night and a roast the next night. And it was like the Lord just standing in the kitchen and going, there's your issue right there. Wake up and look at it. And I was like, just like he said it. I was like, Holy Spirit was like, there's your answer. Stop eating it. And when I did, my hands cleared up. But it got so bad that right here in the creases of your hand and right here was split open.
Oh.
Like, oh my gosh, please, I don't want to lose my fingers.
Oh.
I had
so
it.
painful.
Yep. I put ace bandages, wrapped my hands in ace bandages,
Yeah.
and ace bandage, and kept them like this so they would heal back together.
Mm. Oh
I
my
was like,
goodness.
oh
That
my
liquid
gosh.
skin is good for that when it hurts like heck, but when you have cracks that don't, that are hard to heal, like even tips of fingers, like people get with their working with their hands, that liquid bandage to keep it, or the new skin, I think it's called too, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like nail polish.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't.
your
Yeah.
skin,
You have to get a good brand of that, though. So
yes,
not all brands
or
are.
they peel off. Yeah, they
Yeah.
peel off. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
was just like,
Oh, it sounds so painful. I had that
It
happen
is
with my migraines. I was praying and I heard the word mitochondria, and that was before people were really talking about the mitochondria, the cells, and how they're like the powerhouses of the cell and everything. And so I started doing a little research, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I give power to my mitochondria, God?
Yeah.
I started juicing, and it did help. It's just I eventually stopped eating like that because it's very difficult to maintain with my schedule, but I need to get back into doing that and just clearing a lot of that stuff out of my diet that doesn't need to be there with fiber, like sugar.
I know. I'm
I
having a
used
hard time.
to.
My mother-in-law is such a good sugary cook.
She's such a good what? Sugary?
She made the best banana bread yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going to have some grandma hedgehog videos.
Yes, I need that banana bread recipe. She makes all my bananas. I know,
Oh,
honey. We don't
so
have
good.
to see it.
So
Yeah.
good. She put something
see
called,
it.
the frosting is called $300 frosting.
Oh,
And
hold on.
it's
I'll be
really,
right back in just a second. I think
yeah,
somebody pooped their pants and they're showing me a toy that we
yeah.
got rid of like a month later. He keeps
Oh,
pointing to it. Yeah.
huh,
I'll be right
what's
back.
up?
I'm listening though.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
dead. I'm dead as a parent. You know, one of those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then with the alpha gall, the cough is there because it's a food allergy.
Hmm.
So your body is trying to get rid of it. So you cough and you have all this sinus congestion and everything. And I did something a couple of weeks ago because it
See you
was my
later,
daughter.
Evelyn. Appreciate you coming.
See you later, Evelyn. It was my daughter-in-law's birthday. So a couple weeks ago, we went to Kings Island.
Hmm.
And where we were at, they didn't have any chicken. It was just hot dogs, hamburgers, and a salad. And the salad really wasn't a salad, it was just onions and lettuce. Right. And I was like, oh, I'll bite the bullet and let's see what happens. And the hamburger ended up having 3 patties and a piece of bacon on it.
Wow.
And sure enough, yep, it started. And I was like, well, that is definitely another confirmation that I can't have that stuff anymore.
Right. I can't have a lot of sodium. My body reacts really poorly to any kind of like sodium, like rich foods. Like if you put a can of soup in front of me, I'm going to have blood pressure so bad that I'm going to end up at the hospital.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how it is for me. And so I just have to stay away from that. And, a lot of these preps that people make is a lot of canned food. And so it's hard. It's, yeah. So I'm
Yes.
trying to get my weight down too, because that will help with the blood pressure as well. So,
Oh, yeah.
but it doesn't help when Grandma Hedgehog over here makes really yummy banana cake, and I'm a good bread maker, so it's just not a good thing. Like yesterday for barbecue that we went to, I made Texas Roadhouse rolls, and with the butter and all of that
Oh, yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Oh, one good thing, like I said, there was a blessing. I always look for a blessing because
yeah.
it's always there. And when I went to the neurosurgeon, I had to get on the scales, and they didn't get me on the scales at the hospital. And I'm just like, all right, emptying out my pockets, took my shoes off and everything. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm just holding my breath because I was like, I know, I haven't lost any weight. I don't feel like I've lost any weight. I get on there and that's why I've lost between 30 and 35 pounds. And I just shouted out, I'm like, I've lost 30 pounds. And everybody just looks at me like, you didn't know you lost that weight? We don't have a scale. I don't believe in scales. But I was like, it was just nice to see that.
Yeah, I have a OCD tendency, and so for me to get on a scale can be a problem. I tend to want to weigh myself, often. And what's it like at night? What's it like at
Definitely, but they said it right in the morning because by the time the daytime comes, you've ate, you have drank coffee or whatever, your liquids you've been running and walking and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So all that has gone on, and if you swell, then all that goes into factors and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that was cool. Now I weigh 259. I was like, I'm ready for the next 30 pounds.
Yep. I have a dairy allergy too, so I understand that stuff too. It's not that bad, but I get inflammation in my sinuses and in my ears, and so it's just annoying more than anything.
And Anastasia will go into anaphylactic shock, and she has, something that's full on dairy. Now, she's grown out of a lot. I won't say a lot, some of it. There are some things that slowly getting to where she can have If it says it's been processed on something else that has milk products or nuts and
Oh,
treats and everything,
Mhm.
they've been testing it out. She can have some things, but yeah, she's still,
how old is she now?
she
The
is
one,
8.
and she's got to be completely dairy.
Oh, yes,
free.
definitely.
Yeah, my son. We're trying to do gluten-free, dairy-free with him. It's hard. It's
It is
really hard.
hard because when she was born, we were looking at stuff. She was born 2013, so
Yeah,
grocery shopping was, as a baby is different, but as
yeah,
she gets older, everything has milk in it.
a lot
Yeah.
has milk in
Like,
it. Yeah, and even those pouches, you have to be careful. They haven't snuck a little yogurt. Usually
Yeah.
they'll have. I mean, they have to say it, but sometimes you just see like this, and this vegetable or whatever grouping, and you miss the little in yogurt part.
Mhm.
So yeah,
mhm.
we've done that too here with him. Because he has autism and he's still dealing with like he'll eat a few solid kind of meals like waffle sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly, and he'll eat fruits, veggies not so much. But if
Mhm.
it's in a pouch, we can get it past him and into a system. Like he'll still eat his baby pouches. So I'll mix those with oatmeal and try and make it more of a like heartier meal, but gluten-free oatmeal, like try and do gluten-free, but they won't put gluten-free on a lot of those pouches. So I
Yeah.
don't know if there's some kind of liability, like of maybe where it's produced. I don't know.
Yeah.
But are they hiding something within the food that they don't have to
Hey,
say?
Friends in Jars, good to see you.
Sometimes they can. Now like Silk milk,
Mhm.
the brand Silk.
Mhm.
Um, I forgot who bought them out and everything, but they won't put on there that they processed that milk on equipment that is made, has other milk and stuff on it.
Oh, wow.
They clean it, probably
Yeah.
clean it in
Usually
between.
they have to say it. That's why,
Yeah,
like on certain
we read
food
that.
and then other food,
Yeah.
it's like you don't
And we
know
couldn't
that.
figure out why every time we used Silk milk, she was just like, she would drink it,
Yeah,
but
it's
she
the
just
taste
really
thing.
didn't
Yeah.
didn't want it and everything. So I started reading. That was like 5 years ago, and that's when we switched to almond breeze.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have almond milk in my coffee. And my son was on Nutremigen when he was younger, which was still an offshoot of milk,
Right.
but it was just already pre-broken down as a formula. And his mom was, I think, special needs herself because he's adopted. And he, like, she couldn't believe that he needed a different formula. She went on for, I want to say, almost a full year about just what formula
Yes, you did.
was on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the
Because
formula changed. Like she was just that upset with it. It was like, I'm sorry, but he was shooting diarrhea out his wazoo little poo poo hole.
exactly,
Like I had to do something about it. Get over it. But
exactly.
yeah,
And because when she was born, I told them both, if I'm not at the hospital, if they say she vomiting and
yeah,
then just projectile vomiting, which
yeah,
was what my son did it, but he
yeah.
has,
My son did. I mean, my daughter did that. Sorry, my daughter did the projectile vomiting. She was on the soy formula, like a lot of them recommended way back then. And now you find out that the soy formula back then was as strong as birth control. Basically, the estrogens in it were so strong because it was a manufactured soy food, like it
right.
wasn't a pure soy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when my son was born, which is her dad, he couldn't keep food down, and we couldn't figure out why. So for 3 months, and as a mother, I was like, I've got to save my baby. So I
Yeah.
was giving him baby food
Yeah.
by the time he was a month and a half and everything. And my
Just
mom was
something.
like, what are you doing? I'm like, saving my kid, saving my
Yeah.
baby. Our regular physician, she was going through a divorce, so she wasn't really paying attention.
Mhm.
And ended up, what happened was where your esophagus and your stomach muscle meet, the sphincter muscle right there had not fully developed.
Oh.
So as it closed, it wasn't closing all the way. So all his food would come up.
Reflux. Yeah, what happened?
So,
Yeah.
so at 3 months old, we went to a pediatrician. They sent us to a
Oh wow, interesting.
pediatric radiologist. He goes, I found the issue. This is what's going on. It was a tablespoon of milk to every ounce of a tablespoon of oatmeal to every ounce of cereal, and that's how he ate.
To keep it all weighed in, so it
all
can't
weighed
go
it
back
down.
up. Wow.
And at 4 months old, he was doing table food.
Wow.
Mash it up and everything. And
I don't
all
even
because
know what my blood type is.
Yeah, I don't either. That's Morgan. I got to find that out. It's so good to see you, Morgan, though. We haven't seen you in a while.
hey, yeah, no, because they keep saying when I was going, oh, you're A positive, and I'm just like, I still don't know if I'm A positive or not.
Yeah, I got to get mine checked. I need to get his checked too. My
Yeah.
daughter had that narrowing, but it was more just like chew your food real well. Didn't really relate it to, the reflux thing. But hers was she had gotten real sick. We were on a trip, and it was the end of the trip, thank God, because we were in PA visiting my parents. And my dad was real sick with Alzheimer's at the time. It was starting to show.
Mhm.
And I'm driving this kid home, and all of a sudden she got food poisoning on the way home, and we have to keep stopping so she can puke her guts out.
Yeah.
But it started a gastritis that wouldn't go away. And when we went to the specialist, the only thing he found for her was she's lactose intolerant.
Huh.
So we just hit that on the head and started to go with that. But I'm sure some of it too was nerves, like after seeing her, pop that way. But she still will, if she consumes too much, like dairy, she'll have to take a lactate or something to help with the enzyme breakdown.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing like real bad.
If I go to itch my ears, my husband's like, "You've had too much dairy today."
Yeah, your ears get itchy for allergies. I get that too. I get the inner itch. It's awful.
Yeah,
terrible.
And
it's like you want to stick a Q-tip
the
in there.
doctors are like, "You need to stop itching your ears."
I didn't know dairy could do that.
You're going to lose your hearing.
Yeah. I used to love Captain America until all of the Disney went woke.
Yeah.
He'll still be my favorite from the very beginning, or so since I was little.
Yeah.
That's the way I will remember it.
He's captain of woke America, though. He's not our captain.
Captain of woke America. Yeah.
Captain, not our captain anymore.
I gotta
hold them down and knock some sense into them. Come on.
I used to have a Transformer comic book from 1983.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, I don't know if I think I still have it. But I was like, oh man, that thing, the only thing is just a little rip in it. But I was like, I wonder how much that sucker costs now.
Or a collector. You never know, because sometimes it can have an off printing or something different about it, and it could be worth a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then other times it's like, no, it was mass produced, and there's really nothing special about this.
Hey, Gare, good to see you in here.
Hey, but it's special
We're
to
finding
us,
out. Huh? It means a lot to you. That's what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. There's too many things that mean a lot to me in this house right now, and I have to get rid of some of
your
them.
mother stuff and
yes.
Yes.
That's hard.
That is hard. Threads and jars. I have taken Allegra a lot during our spring summer switch.
I do not take that because it makes my blood pressure go up.
Yeah, it's because it's one of the daytime, not knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a second line, right? I think is what they call those, the second line that they created.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Benadryl, I would be drooling on my couch.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. Benadryl.
Exactly. Well, if my allergies are bad at night, I'll take a Benadryl, but that's it.
Yeah.
But my allergies have been really bad here. That's the only thing I got to say about Tennessee. The allergens are very high here.
Yeah.
So, but things grow here too. So.
Yeah. Well, they still have tons of wild areas. So who knows what the heck pollen you're getting, that you're getting assaulted with for the first time that you haven't been assaulted with from the wildlife. Like, I can't speak today, but you know what I mean.
It's
like
okay.
the wild flowers and the trees.
I'm allergic to pine trees and.
Oh no, you're like me. I'm allergic to oak.
Yeah.
If I move north, it's just more oaks to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And cottonwood around here. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
Well,
It
we have
looks
the
like,
Melaleuca. Have you seen those trees? The
yeah,
Melaleuca trees that peel? They're
yeah,
so neat looking, but they're
yeah,
highly inflammatory for people with allergies. Like
yeah. I have
burn your
on the
eyes.
property.
You have some there?
Yeah,
Oh no, it's gotta go. Those are so bad.
but they're on my property, so if I want to, I can cut them down.
Yeah, you need to cut them down. Don't leave them. They're very beautiful looking, but
Yeah, they are.
they're horrible as far as their pollen is
Yeah,
very rough.
they put me on Flexeril, a muscle relaxer,
I don't
and
know what that is.
everything. I was just like, my regular physician, he wanted, goes, do you take it twice a day? I'm like, I homeschool my granddaughter, and I've got things to do during the day.
There's no
I can't
way.
go take this stuff during the day because I'll be
Nope.
yeah.
out.
You'll be a zombie, and who wants to live that way? You
Yeah,
know?
no,
Exactly.
no.
But valerian works wonders at nighttime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
valerian's good. Yeah, if you do like a little valerian tea
yeah.
and slip on
I
that.
want to
Like
grow some valerian when we get. I don't have the space here.
I
There's so
want
many things I want to grow that I don't have the space for right now.
I want them to come out with an organic version of that sleepy time tea with valerian.
Oh
And
yeah,
I would like stock that up and put that away as
Yeah,
medicinal.
definitely.
yeah,
It'll save me all the work of having to grow all of it and just stock it away.
right.
Because it's good stuff. I love sleepy time tea. And then when they add the valerian, oh my gosh, I just forget to like get up and make it. I'm
Mhm.
usually couch bound by then, and it's hard for me to go anywhere
Yeah,
during that.
I know, because by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, between 2 and
Mhm.
3, my body is like, you're done for downstairs. You cannot,
Yeah.
no, you're done. Because
Mhm.
upstairs in my room, I have a yard chair, a metal yard chair, but the back tilts back some.
Uh-huh.
So it's enough at an angle that I can get some relief. That everything's
Yeah.
not pinching.
Right.
But you see me put my coat on, a jacket on, it's because by now, whatever is pinching, my hands are ice and my
Mhm.
feet are ice, and I'm cold, and I'm just like, okay.
It
So,
acts just
'cause
like
then,
an autoimmune disease. It
Yeah,
sounds like that's what the thing with the ticks is. They're so tiny. And
exactly,
people like me with the fibro and whatever, other things they add on to it because it seems like it grows. No idea if maybe long time ago tick got me
yeah.
and it was just like a slow reaction
Back
to
in the
it,
day when we didn't even talk about ticks and what
right?
ticks you, because
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know who we were talking to. We never used to talk about ticks and getting diseases from them and
No.
or worms or different like thing. And now it's all over the place. And people, I don't know if it's that people's immune systems aren't as strong
Mm.
or not as exposed to things anymore.
Or we're just realizing what we're exposed to and we have the information
Yeah. So
technology
it's like,
to share it.
what is it? You know?
Yeah, which one is it?
And I
Yeah.
think
And it's
people are
both.
more in
Yeah,
tune to what's going on with their bodies than they used to be too.
Yeah. Well, they can research it. They never could
Mhm.
do that. The doctor was the be all and end all,
Right.
unless you were going to go to the library and read the books that the doctors read at the
Right.
university, try and make
Right.
sense of it. That's, it's a good and a bad because then you think you could have everything or you're dying and you just have a cold, like
Yeah.
exactly.
bleeding.
Yeah. I have fibromyalgia also. I was diagnosed
Mhm.
in 2003, but I think I had that when I was a teenager
Yeah. You
from
usually do
different
have
things.
an autoimmune or a lot earlier than you get diagnosed with it. And I truly believe fibro is just another autoimmune. It's just its effects are maybe electrical in the brain, so it's not like they can really test for it because
Mhm.
it's like you're short circuiting.
Mhm.
Your nervous system is short circuiting and it's sending out like an attack, like
Yeah.
a nervous
Yeah.
system attack on certain areas and or just not sending that certain areas the chemicals they need to function. Like the brain is a very mysterious thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it
And
is.
yeah.
Stand for a minute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's
Oh,
Hey,
my
Big
son
Mac.
goes, when we went to Kings Island a couple weeks
Mhm.
ago, they go, Mom, you're going to be able to do it. I was like, I do like I do everywhere else we go. I'll
Right,
walk a little bit, I'll
yeah.
sit down. I'll walk a little bit, I sit down. There was
Yeah.
plenty of places to sit. So I
Yeah.
was just like, I get in there, I sat down. I said, y'all go have fun. We kept up with each other, but I was just like, I just enjoyed myself being out.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah. I know. I love going out places with my daughter, but now this stuff is in my feet and my ankles right now. And it's like I get home and I'm in so much like pain, or I'm exhausted from pressing through. And then I do take medication. I've had fibro for about 10 years diagnosed, close to it. I would say 9, 10 years. I forget to look at the letter that my doctor wrote years ago that said he'd be treating me for 6 or something years already. So now, the attack on the feet and the ankles is what is really exhausting when you have to go places.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I came home the other day, and we barely walked the other day. It was just the wrong shoes I had on. And I came home and I just passed out from, trying to deal, like how you said, you press through, you deal with it, but it exhausts your system.
Exactly.
You don't even realize how tired you are until you sit down and you get in a comfortable position.
Yeah.
And then
You're out cold. Yeah.
Because, I sit there and say, they give you that medicine. I was like, I'm not taking this. I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
I missed out.
Yeah. Dealing with that now.
I can't. I have to like get out and do things. I can't like sit home all day. I go so crazy,
Yeah.
So
Well, you did it for so long with the foster kids, and now that you're free, it's like I can't imagine how it's like. No, I got to do things. I'm making up for lost time.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I've lost time doing stuff with my hands.
Now it's hard because my husband's gone all the time. And
Yeah.
it's like, but I could be doing this and I could be doing that.
I know. Freedom.
Yeah. And then so now I'm just trying to do the things that I know he would enjoy. Like I really want to go hiking, but he would enjoy going hiking. So I can't do that. So it's like
He wouldn't like it at all. He's not into.
He's into hiking, but he wouldn't, but like going to the farmer's
He needs to rest after his job.
Yeah,
Right.
going to antiquing and stuff like that I like to do, just to go look at things. He's like, no.
Yeah, my husband.
Anything shopping.
Oh no, they're in and out. It's like they're on a mission, in, out, done. And then, and we're like, well, I wanted that, and they have it. Oh, let me go check the price.
Yeah, I gotta look at all the pretty things. And if I
go to the craft store
about it.
I can't even go in craft stores. Gosh, I can be in there for hours just eye shopping. It's not even window because it's right there. So it's like, I could do this. And
I can hike up my property for sure. I can. And actually, I need to go there probably tomorrow during the day. I have my live tomorrow night, but I might go hiking on the property tomorrow and pick some berries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like what Homestead Aquarius hit on in his video about food forest. And I said the same thing. Hey, Snark and Sass.
Hi, Snark and Sass.
Hello.
That's such a pretty heart, Snark and Sass.
Boopy.
My son and daughter-in-law had got me a brand new sewing machine.
Hi, Beth. Good to see you.
Yeah, happy 2020. And no sooner I got that, I did make a few things with it. And then, my hands happened, and then that was like, it's just set there.
I know. I get it in my wrist now. Like I have to, and it shoots, it'll shoot through my hands, like the nerve pain, which stinks because I also just learned how to crochet during that whole 2020 stuff. And I'm trying to finish a project that I did for my daughter. And, I can't imagine it being, just being in your hands. I can't. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do that.
Do you have one of those thumb toys that the kids can squeeze?
No. Stress ball for exercise. It just hurts so bad to even do that when it's acting up. Just even move it or twist it. I don't know where the arthritis. I think it's a combo of the fibro and the arthritis. The arthritis acts up, shoots it up to my brain that there's pain, and the fibro sends down more than was there before.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
I take flaxseed. Well, what I've been doing is I've got ground flaxseed and I've been making a smoothie with strawberries and blueberries or different fruit. Then
Yeah.
I add a collagen powder and
A
cat's
what
claw
powder?
liquid.
Wait, what powder was that?
Collagen.
Oh, collagen. Okay, got it.
Collagen. Because I
Collagen,
went through
which
the
one?
change of life at 33 years of age.
Yeah, but which collagen is it? Because you might be getting that beef that might be setting you off unintentionally.
No, I ate a hamburger.
Oh, I know, but collagen is like either beef, fish, chicken, like they have the different types. I can't have the beef, gives me a migraine.
Yeah. This one is the dairy-free one because we
Okay.
have to make sure it's dairy-free.
Yeah.
Nothing in the house has any regular
No,
dairy in it.
it wouldn't have dairy. It's made from the hooves of the animals, but they use the hooves like
Yeah.
from beef, from
Yeah.
cows. and
Narking
some of them.
fast back to nature. I'm friends with you guys now.
Hey, back to nature.
I'll come back and visit
But
later.
anyway, so you use collagen, you've got flaxseed, you got what was usually
Cat's
put.
claw, the liquid cat's claw,
Mhm.
and I make a smoothie out of that because I also realized I was like, wait a minute. I was like, the Lord just those bells going off.
Yeah.
It's like, I went through the change of life. So I'm 53.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago,
Well,
completely. I haven't had any of that time of month or nothing. I was like, well, my body's not making a lot of things that should be making
Mhm. Yeah.
at all. My hair was brittle and everything. And I was like,
Yeah.
So I was like, started looking and doing that research, and
Mhm.
that collagen has really made a difference
Yeah, it does help.
in
It
everything.
does help. If your body can assimilate it, it's
Yeah.
really helpful.
And I
But
was
it
like,
can also cause reactions. Like with me, I can't do the beef one. I can do the
Oh,
fish
yeah.
and the chicken collagen, but the beef causes headaches for me.
Hmm.
Don't know why. It just does.
That is weird.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Which makes me wonder if, because we have steak a lot because of my mom. But I don't
Yeah.
notice the real big difference with the steak. I notice it with the grains. Like I can't really have corn anymore. I react to corn. I can't have like wheat.
Hmm.
And same thing, dairy, but that's the IBS that goes with the
Yeah.
fibro.
Yeah.
That's, I can't have a lot of dairy. But,
now with dairy, it's got casein, whey, and there's one other thing I cannot remember. But
it has hormones in it too. It's
Yeah.
cow breast milk. And as a woman, when you are going through the change, you don't really need extra
Yeah.
hormones thrown
No,
in.
you don't.
Yeah, your body will
Yeah.
react to it.
so a lot of people are either allergic to the whey protein in that or the casein that's in
Yeah.
that milk.
Yep.
And that's what causes the reaction to your
Yep.
allergy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or sensitivity. It gets harder when we're older. We're more sensitive to stuff, and it might not show up on an allergy test.
Right.
That's where you have to go and do an elimination diet, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was eating maybe lettuce by the time I got down to eliminating everything. And it would have been a great elimination diet had
Yeah.
I not had my stepdaughter's wedding right smack dab there
Right.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
in that period of time. So I just reintroduced stuff way too fast and didn't notate like what was doing what. But yeah, lettuce is delicious. Look, I see your teddy
I
bear.
did that. Now I still am using Ezekiel bread
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
instead of
sprouted.
regular bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sprouted grain bread instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once in a while, I'll make, if I want regular bread, I'll make a loaf
Yeah.
instead of the store bought because forget it.
It is a
Yeah, I
pain
know.
for
Ginger
you.
ale too. That hominy. No.
Exactly. But I did the Ezekiel diet
Mhm.
when I
Oh,
finally, like I said, when the Lord said, this is what's going on, this is the meat that's doing it. So
Yeah.
I did an Ezekiel diet for, was it 23 days?
Mm-hmm. I haven't heard the
30 days.
Ezekiel. I've heard of the Daniel.
I mean, the Daniel diet.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
You did the
Ezekiel
Daniel.
bread. The Daniel diet, I did that. And I was like, I just got to clean my system out. Like, I get
Yeah.
out. Whatever it is, it's got to get out.
Yeah.
And so my hands started to heal, and I was like,
Wow.
so I've got videos, y'all can
Yeah.
go check out, because I took everybody along with the process, because
Yeah.
like,
I
I don't know,
wouldn't be good with
other
all the
girls who
brown
might have it.
rice. Yeah, the brown rice for me would, like, I wouldn't be able to do all the brown rice in, like, as your grain. I
Yeah.
can
Right.
do some once in a while, but I can't do a lot of grains. I'd probably be better on keto if I had a gallbladder,
Yeah.
handle all the fats.
Well,
Otherwise,
actually,
no,
you
I
should
can't.
be better without the gallbladder.
No, it'll shoot right through me.
No.
The fats part.
Well, it doesn't. Well, I guess it does do that to
Mhm.
some people, but not all people.
Mm.
No, whenever, if I had a little bit of dairy right after my gallbladder was out, talk about shooting through you.
Oh, I did that.
Goodness.
I did that in the middle of mall. I had my first, like, Starbucks, like one of their specialty drinks.
Hmm.
I'm like 3 sips in, and the bathrooms are probably, I would say, like a block away.
Hmm.
And the feeling hits me like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, no.
I had that happen 4 weeks after I had my gallbladder out. I did the PCT 50-mile trip. And so got a backpack on my back, but
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
control all the food because we're eating travel hiking food.
Yeah.
And so there was one thing that I didn't realize had dairy in it, because I knew that this was happening with my body.
Yeah, with dairy.
It was that time. And oh my goodness, it was horrible. I was like,
Mm.
okay, on a trip. This
Hey,
is
Stock
wonderful.
Explorer.
Or there is
Oh
no.
yeah, I was getting sick on trips all the time after
Yeah.
my gallbladder, I think that's part of the reason my fibro actually got worse, was when they
Mhm.
took out my gallbladder and I couldn't assimilate vitamin D well, like any kind of your fat soluble vitamins, things like that. It started to make the fibro worse. And it also screwed around with my bees, even though I think bees are not water
Hey, Stock Explorer.
soluble. I mean, just
Yeah,
watching my
B vitamins are fat soluble.
D.
Vitamin
Yeah.
C,
Yeah.
vitamin C is water soluble. I
Yeah.
worked for DNC for 2 years.
Oh,
so-
okay. Yeah. C is, I meant the B12. I couldn't
Yeah,
remember if that was water.
No, they're fat soluble.
All
just
the
like your
B's
A
and
and
D's
B.
and that.
Yeah.
That's why. There you go. Because I'm
And
B.
then your C's. I learned your C vitamins, you use up what you need for that day, then the rest of it gets flushed out.
Yeah.
That's why you need to take the C vitamin every day. But I take.
Yeah, I wasn't sure with the B complex vitamins if any of those were water soluble, because my pee tends to be a little more expensive on the days that I take like a multivitamin, but it must be the C and the other vitamins. I have to usually kind of mix and match. But right now I'm on this one supplement and it's got all kinds of good stuff in it, but it's also like $50 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's just for one. That's not like including
Yeah,
my
I
collagen.
don't
I have
take
a
that many
collagen supplement
supplements.
too.
I take the supplements that will keep me from getting viruses, but that's about it.
Yeah, this would help with viruses. It's got the D's and the B's, but then it's
Mhm.
got a component for to keep you happy. Like it's got SAMe in it.
Mhm.
It's got, and also functional. Like it's really a postmenopausal great vitamin because it's
Yeah,
got the
right.
Panax ginseng in it. It has caffeine, but it is balanced with L-theanine,
Mm.
so you're not getting the jitters.
Kitty,
Kitty.
good to see you in here.
But yeah, so, and it's working. It's like giving me at least the energy for the day. But then I'm trying right now to do edibles
Mhm.
to try and get off of the pharmaceuticals.
Right.
And yeah, I'm just like one big cocktail right now trying to figure things out. And I do not like the feeling of being high. And the first couple, the first day on it,
Well,
I
especially-
was so high.
yeah.
I was so high and I was like trying to do a live with friends and it hit me like first it hit me a little bit and I was like, this is funny. Then it hit me and I was like, I gotta go. I can't do this.
I'm not functioning well.
I'm gonna melt into my keyboard at any
Like
second
me on
now.
opioids.
Yeah. That part is really hard. Like even the guy at the dispensary was like, no, don't take half of that gummy. Because the other guy at the office where the doctor is, he's like, oh yeah, don't do a whole one, just do like a half, and you should be cool. And this
do.
kid at the dispensary is like, no.
I can't do that stuff because I get paranoid.
Yeah, if I would have taken the full half, I probably would have been paranoid.
Yeah, I'm like, when it came illegal in Oregon, never touched the stuff ever.
Yeah.
But we were on the PCT trip, and my cousins from Texas were visiting, and so they had to try it. I'm like, oh, I'll try it. Man, no, especially when you're in the when you're in the woods.
Yeah, that's like
and
disorienting.
Yeah, you're on top of a mountain somewhere, and you hear every little noise, and it's like tigers, the bear, the way.
I don't even have to take any of that. I hear every single thing. I say it's mom ears. Once you become a mom, you hear every little noise, every little sound, anything. Sure. But then, as kids, I was telling them, I'm 53. We grew up watching Chips and cop shows and everything, and Dukes of Hazzards and detective shows. So we went outside and we just listened. Well, we don't have the sounds now, but we go outside and we listen. Mm-hmm. And then what could we hear, what we couldn't hear, and everything. And now it's just like I hear everything and I smell everything. And I was like, they always say when one of your senses goes down, the others enhance. And I'm just like, right. Well, I still can see and I can still smell and taste, but I was just like, I'm telling you, when your body hurts, and we all know that, your senses just become more intense because now you can listen to every single thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my son couldn't figure out why. He loves to play around. When he was younger, do stuff to my face and my eyes. So I was like, quickly just grab his hand and was like, don't get near my eyes. My eyes are very precious to me. And it's just because when you're hurting, and I had to explain to him, when you're hurt, you just don't want nobody touching you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And poor thing, he being 10, 11, 12 years old and wanting, playing with your mom and hit and everything else, I would have to say no.
Yeah.
Okay,
my daughter felt
today's the day we can do this, or I'll tell you when you can hug me. Mm-hmm. I'm having a bad day, just don't touch me.
Yeah. My daughter saw me go through that, and then she became afraid to hug me.
Oh,
she saw me go, and I that broke my heart that she, had to go through that along with me. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, and now we still play around and everything, and we'll go to do something. He'll ask, how you feeling today, Mom? I'm like, oh, Tom, I'm hurting today, or I'm good today. Mm-hmm. Especially with Nerf guns. Oh my goodness. We've got Nerf guns dashed around the house. We have a townhouse, and they're in the basement, they're on the second floor, they're up in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
But he knows it's a good day when I go grab a Nerf gun and I start shooting him.
Aw, cute.
That's
cute. I wish I could do that. My son would eat the Nerf gun things.
Yeah.
He'd just eat them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm okay. Are you okay? He's going around.
I was so thankful Jonah never put anything in his mouth. I never had to deal with that with him.
Yeah, this kid is.
Yeah.
You never know. In fact, we had to get rid of those because I homeschool him too, but he's very delayed. And we had those match-up eggs. Somehow he flipped it and got it lodged in his mouth. It was the scariest thing.
Wow.
Trying to pop that thing out so he wouldn't die. Right. And I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, it's not a chokeable. Yeah, if you're only maybe 3. Yeah. Get it past a certain point, but he was older using them, and they are.
Yeah.
So they need to make them bigger. But yeah, totally would eat Nerf gun stuff. Anything soft like that. He even has eaten the top off of his markers, those Color Wonders.
Yeah.
Good thing they're non-toxic.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Don't push that, please. I almost just pushed down all his food. My husband has it organized over here. That's my husband's thing. Give him something with his OCD. He likes arranging the pouches.
Oh my goodness! When I got hurt in 2009 after that slip and fall, and it just did me in, and I was just like, I just look at something, and I was like, we talk as far as cleaning goes, and I was like, I mean, we're clean and everything, but there's just some things. It's just like it was there before I was alive. It'll still be there when I'm dead, so it can just stay right where it's at.
I get you. I get you.
I think that was one thing, and the Lord really was teaching my son, me, and my daughter-in-law about, yes, it's nice to have things, and He will supply all our needs, and we can have an abundant life and give us things abundantly.
Yeah.
But also not to hold on to those things too tightly.
True. Yeah.
Because in 2017, between 2016, 17, we moved in here in 2018. That's when all the bed bug things was going around. And her father, which is, we found out is not her father, did some really mean things to us and everything. And we were going through our stuff in storage, and I'm just like, stuff my son had for years, for 10 years, I had for 20 years and everything, had to be thrown away. And I was just like, pictures and clothes and mementos and other things. And I was just like,
you think somebody he did that to your stuff?
And I was just like, and my daughter-in-law, she said, well, I'm used to not to having things.
Yeah.
Because the way she was, her story is just, it would just blow people's minds. Yeah. She goes, I'm not used to having things. And I'm like, she goes, it just didn't bother her as much.
Yeah.
Except
it does it either way. Like with people who haven't had, they either hoard or they go the opposite way and they don't care and they can just release.
Right. Yeah. The one thing that did get her upset was their wedding outfits, her dress. Wasn't a long dress. It was a white dress and everything. And she got all their wedding stuff that had to be tossed. And I was just like, oh my goodness. But I was just like, was going through stuff, and I just start crying. I'm just like, okay, Lord, what lesson are you trying to teach us now? Yeah. And I was like, just let go.
Yeah.
It was the past. And here's the biggest thing, letting go of the past. He was telling me, let it go. I've got something better for you. And I was like, could I let that go? And it was hard. It was hard because, come to find out that, I knew in my heart I was adopted. Nobody would tell me anything. And to find out through my son, when he did the 23andMe, that I am adopted. They're going to do mine this Christmas. But I was like, can I let that go before knowing that? And I was able to let all that go. And I was like, Lord, I got much better for you. Yeah. Just let it go. So I was like, when we moved in here, we had nothing. Basically nothing. We didn't even have beds to sleep on. Well, take that back. Yes, we did. But it wasn't a good bed. So the following year, 2019, with taxes, they got Anastasia and I have a bunk bed. She's got the top. I've got the bottom. And they've got a great bed too and everything. And then if you were to look, if I would do a video showing everything that we have, it was like from nothing to what we have now. It's like the Lord just, over time. Yeah. He said He'll give you double for your trouble. And I can tell you, honestly, that has happened. Now I have a message. I don't know.
Kitty, when you came in and said, well, we all talk, you never know with our group.
Yeah. Always talking about something.
Yeah. Always something. Probably hit on it eventually. If you've got something in mind you want to talk about over in the side chat, just the subject, and we might even hit on it even before you do. You never know.
Yep.
Exactly. And I told one person, I was like, when I was going through the stuff with my hands, I really felt like Job. I'm telling you, because my health was going, my hands were going,
Yeah.
and I was just like, and then I was just like, okay. Then last year, some stuff I went through, and I was like, well, you know,
Hmm.
the key thing that I learned from Job is not you don't curse God and go
Yeah.
on, because I'm telling you, because I really don't admit it a lot because I just didn't want to admit it to myself. I got depressed,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
got really, really depressed because the slightest thing they would say to me, I would say, well, I guess I'm not good enough. I might as well just die and just give up, you know.
Mm.
And that's the mentality I had because I was
Yeah.
like, I couldn't do anything with my hands.
Yeah.
I couldn't go walking anywhere. I couldn't do the normal things people could do.
Hmm.
It was hard to take a shower. You couldn't wash
Yeah.
your hair or
You're like
anything.
imprisoned in your own
And I
body.
was like, well, no. And I'm still, as much as I possibly could, I am reading the Bible. I am doing Bible study. I'm listening to Joseph Prince, Joyce Meyer, whoever I could listen to. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm just soaking up the word. I'm like, Lord, you're all I have.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I just got to lean into you. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I know. And I keep hearing this over and over again for the last 6 months. The Lord is going to turn it into something good. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, Lord, then whatever I went through, if you need to use it for somebody else, then so
Yeah.
be it.
He always does.
He does.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like I said, people kind of like, oh, you know, that's just the Bible. No, the Lord does. I'm telling you, the Lord gives you double for your trouble. I have seen it. I lost books. I mean, books that I had for 30, 40 years. And now I've got better books.
Yeah.
I had like Charles Dickens and Sherlock Holmes is my favorite
Hmm.
of all time. I had all those books and everything, and it was all gone, and they all had to be thrown away. We had Bibles that we had to throw away. And I was like,
Wow.
That would be
okay.
hard. That would be
And I
hard.
was like, now we have another Bible. I have a Joyce Meyer Bible. All her books, basically all her books, I was able to get back that I had when they would do, you know, any donation.
Hmm.
And I was like, Lord, I only have $1, but they accepted that. I've got bucks now. I was like,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah.
And then like crock pots and everything we had to throw away and lost. Now, a couple years ago for my birthday, my son and daughter-in-law got me the Ninja Foodie Deluxe.
Nice.
And I was
Very
like, that
nice.
sucker was $300. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. But I was
Aw.
like, it does everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've
And I
heard
was
that.
like, the Lord, and people say, oh, that's not the
Is that the
Bible. I'm
one
like, no,
that-
I'm telling you, he does it.
Is that
Yeah.
the one that cans and everything?
Not that it doesn't can, but it does roast, it bakes, it dehydrates, it steams, it
Yeah.
Oh,
makes
wow.
It
yogurt.
does everything, but that's my choice was in between like going towards the foodie, or I got the Instapot that can do the canning,
Yeah.
the Instapot Max. So I chose that. It's still sitting in the box. I have like canning avoidance. My name is Carol. I have canning avoidance. Afraid I'm gonna blow something up or break it. Oops.
Well, here's something funny.
Your signal's going bonkers on my side, Laura.
Yeah, she's kind of like frozen.
Frozen in a like a I don't even know what you would call that. You're like all pixelated and then you freeze. Come on out of it. Praying for Laura's signal.
There you go.
Lord, heal
After
her
she's
signal.
healed.
Now you're frozen with a smile. Come on, signal. We rebuke you, Satan, over that signal in Tennessee.
That's right. Because I was like, talking about canning and everything. And I watched my mom and my grandmother do it, but they never taught me how to do it.
Yeah, I never
So I had to learn how to do it. And I was like, when we got the first stimulus check,
yeah.
that was the first thing I went and bought me was a canner. I had a water bath canner because those were just like, they're like $20 or so. But a canner, pressure canner, that was $80. And we were kind of still, I don't want to say struggling, but they still live paycheck
Yeah.
to paycheck. And so when we got that money, I was like, I know what I'm buying. And I'm about all my garden stuff, all my canning stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I did the pressure canner early on before I got that, and still haven't used it because I'm afraid I'll get the thing wrong. Like, even though I've watched a lot, so I am
Right.
going to do mulberry jelly as my first thing because you don't have to pressure it. But just getting everything together at nighttime once he's asleep and getting it all ready, I've never done it before, so it's like the process I have to get.
Exactly. The first thing I did the same thing. The first thing I did was jams and jellies.
Okay.
And then as far as pressure canning, the first thing I did was
There, you're back a little
carrots.
bit. You're moving a little bit more.
There you go.
I think I'm gonna call
then
it
it locked
because
up.
Yeah,
What, Laura? Couldn't hear you.
I'm gonna call it.
Okay,
because
because you're losing the
it's
signal.
pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, you guys. God bless you guys.
God
Thank
bless
you
y'all.
for coming
I
in.
enjoyed it.
Yep. Have
We'll
a good
see
day.
you next time.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, everybody in the side chat.
My cursor. Where's my cursor?
Bye.
There it is.